Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, July 20th, and live for the midday market recap. So let's talk stocks. Let's get right into it. So every morning, 8:15. Hey, Terry, welcome. Every morning, 8:15, I do create my watch list that is down below. If you do participate and join as a member, you'd be able to see me building it live, ask questions, ask my opinion on any stock charts or any other charts for that matter. So today we did have some nice performing stocks. For AI today, it did provide a long trade and a short trade, both directions. Then you can see we had big volume come in down here at the bottom. We are testing the upper bound. We do have a wedge forming right here. And I would look to see if this is going to retrace back down to 37.71 and then a bounce. If not, I would look for the $36 range. Right now, this trend line is offering some resistance with big selling every time that it has encountered it. So keep that in mind if you are trading AI. TSM today did have earnings, a big drop down below 99.50 for a nice $2 move down almost to 99.60 area and 97.60 area. So looking at this, actually a nice low of 97 pre-market, right, or just as market opened, but I like to stay away for the first 15 minutes, let the market confusion move its way out. Right now we are above that point of control, 98.35. If we moved above 98.80, I think we would see a bigger move to the upside. So keep that on watch. I would move this to 98.80 now to see if we could break above that for the active trading session today. All right, for Netflix, big move down. We did hit the 28 exponential yesterday after hours, and it looks like it's being drawn like a magnet down to 430.92. I would use that as my target to the downside for today and potential bounce or exit there. If it moves below that, I'd watch to see if we can hit 429.12 just below that. All right, let's look at Tesla. Tesla today hit the 299, 298 target that I had given for the end of June. Hit it just a couple weeks later, and now we're pulling back down. We are below the volume weighted anchor price from the low that we had Tuesday, June 27th, and the volume weighted anchor price right here. That is not looking good after earnings, right? We had a dreaded H move right here, broke down below 276, 278, a nice short to the downside. A shout out to David, who did ask my opinion yesterday, saying, I've been in this for a while. Should I take some profit? I said, well, here, David, this is my opinion. Look at how we are at the upper bound of this channel, which has been setting up for quite some time. In my opinion, it's very high risk here. I exited back over here, and I said, you know what? The risk to reward, I would like it lower, Terry, personally. I think that we could personally see this come down to the midline down here, 250, or even lower. This is just the beginning, in my opinion, of a bit of a corrective wave for Tesla. You can see it took a while for it to come back to that low over here in April. So that was starting off in February, so maybe 2 months. So it might be going sideways or down for 2 months. Maybe it'll come, a good entry would be over here, roughly like 230 in September. So keeping my eye out on that. American Airlines, we did have Delta yesterday. American reported today, came down. Oh, boom, look, we hit that 28 exponential moving average. On the 24-hour chart over here, we broke down below and it dropped. So a nice short trade below 1820 today. And it looks like right now we are up above that point of control at 1750. I would use that as support if I was long, but I would use resistance of 1780 in my opinion as short for my stop out. All right, Coinbase, let's check it out. Coin today is pulling back a little bit. We are seeing some crypto names dropping today. And in fact, this sort of shocked me. Supposedly, this went live this morning. Where is it in the news? Where is it in the news that it went live, right? The FedNow service. And when you click and you move over further, you see, oh yeah, their announcement, right? Who is on it? 16 service providers and 35 banks. So this is not something that is all of the US yet. They're just trying to test it out and see. It's more like the testing phases. So it's not really fully functional just yet, which in my opinion is a reason why we're seeing the cryptos pulling back, because it's not the mad rush of people getting in at the moment. We'll look at silver and gold as well. So Coinbase, nice short here, dropped down 5 points or roughly 4%. Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft pulled back today, almost hit the 8 exponential moving average, has not filled the gap just yet. Oh yeah, they did? I don't watch the news, but interesting, Terry. It's so few banks that, it's going to be hard for really everybody to adopt it. And in my opinion, the global infrastructure for going digital nationwide, globally isn't there. 30% of the people use digital. 70% are still cash. So it would be interesting to see how they're really going to make all that work. Microsoft today had a little short trade up to the top, 2 points up, and a bigger, long trade and a bigger short trade below 351 down to 348.50. Let's look at United. So United sympathy trade potential with American, however, no. It dropped and then popped up. So we had the short side trade and now we have the long side trade going on. So a very small range of trading activity this morning, but it provided 2 nice potentials. So a lot of times when we have a big volatility day, then it consolidates and then a potential for that big move to come after the consolidation. Mara as well, moving down similar to Coinbase. We can also check out Riot. Riot probably had a similar trade. Yep. Riot moving down as well, down and up, hitting some anchored VWAPs over here. Let's also look at GBTC. So GBTC seems to be topping out. It looks like a head and shoulders formation, potentially. Shoulder, head, yep, we had a sell-off today as well. If we break below the neckline of 1960, in my opinion, we're going to see GBTC go down as well as Bitcoin. All right, let's look at Carvana. So Carvana, I mentioned this a week ago Monday, right? When I was teaching in the training pit over at the dark pools, I was talking about short squeezes and how Carvana was the perfect setup for a short squeeze. Yep, it squeezed here, consolidated, earnings came out, and boom, an explosion. With, let's go right here, let's go here, and let's go here. Carvana. So if we look at it, Carvana has had some pretty crazy short volume. 57% in the last 5 days, 54 over the last 10 days, 53 over the last 20, and 53 over the last 50. So this was primed, especially with 84 million in the float, to have a massive move. Now we're somewhat filling the gap, and it could come back down. We are hitting support right now, 49.45, just above it. If we do move up, it looks like there's a nice gap to fill to the upside above 50, up to 51.40. So it looks like it really dropped the bottom out right there. A nice little pocket opportunity for some profits of $1.50 or 2%. All right, let's look at the indexes. Let's look at the Dow. So the Dow is surging higher. When we look at the Dow stocks, let's see which one is really lifting us higher today. We're seeing Goldman Sachs up 2.5%. Boeing is up 2.48. The biggest one looks really like IBM is really lifting us up today at 2.7. Excuse me, Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson had earnings today. Look at that candlestick. Massive, massive move up. And a former resistance zone of 164. Once it broke above there, a big run up $4. So that's really affecting the Dow today, a big mover for the Dow. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. There we go. So the Russell today is down. So the Dow is being brought up by just a couple stocks. That is the smallest of the ETFs, right? It only has 30 stocks in it. The Russell is the largest with 2,000 stocks. So Russell right now is pulling down. Is this nice bearish engulfing an indication of what we have to come for the broader markets, right? If we go down below 191.50, I think we're going to see a bigger correction in the market coming, especially it could pull all the way down to 187 or 188 here. With the Qs, seems like with the potential of the readjustment coming in a couple days, that the Qs are starting to adjust as well. Hey, Troy. And we also had Netflix that's very much pulling down the Qs today. So let's check out the top performers for the Qs. Nvidia is down, Tesla is down, and we've got Netflix down right here. 8%, 6%, and just 1.2% for Microsoft, but Nvidia is 1.6. Yeah, we're seeing that those big names are helping to pull down the index, as well as AMAT software, right? So keeping a watch to see, is this crazy bull run that we have seen on tech stocks done? It could very well correct back down here, right? If we look back at April this year, we came and we hit that 28 exponential. Let's look back in time. Let's see what happened last year, right? So we seem to peak out August 16th, and then it was a downward turn. This year, it seems to be a bit different. We are moving up. We had a retracement here. It only pulled back to the 15, so that could still be back to 375 on the Qs over the next couple of weeks. And we have the rebalancing. That's the word I was looking for. The rebalancing coming up. All right, let's go to the SPY. So we'll look at the SPY right here, the SPY holdings. Amazon is down 2.25 or 2.14. Tesla down 6.46, just came up a little bit. Facebook Meta is down 2.49. So those are going to be the ones that are really affecting it overall. Let's look at the general index. So we do have a potential for a bearish setup here on the daily. Let's also look at this on the big picture. We had a nice big drop. Hopefully you guys profited, breaking below 454 today. People fleeing MMM, can I check it out? Will do, yeah. Okay, so right here it does look like a potential bearish top setup if we close below the 454 mark. So keep that on watch. Let's look at it on a weekly chart to see the setup. If we close the week below 450, 449.30, that's going to be a gravestone doji on the weekly, right? And on a 33, we are testing former resistance levels where we sold off, where they were selling back in 2021, right? You see this resistance, pretty much it went up in December and crashed in January. So it doesn't mean that they can't take it higher, but this was a resistance level that we had back in 2021. Right here, similar, right? So are we going to break out from here, or is this going to be, we had a crazy month last month, nice upward bound. Is it time to retrace back down to 436? Very well might come back, retrace 18 points. That could happen over the August month. Many times people go on vacation, they sell, and then they reevaluate for September entries. So that could be a scenario that we see as well. All right, let's check out MMM for Troy. If you guys have any other stocks that you'd like to check out, please put it in the chat. Well, you know what? Kramer says that a correction is needed right now or is expected, so it kind of gives me pause to think because he tends to be an inverse indicator. All right, you do have earnings coming up, Troy, coming up next Tuesday. I don't really see that people are fleeing MMM, maybe monetarily with services, But right now, this chart looks pretty good, right? We're about to test this high over here of 104.27. And that could be an area that could offer some resistance. It was in the past over here. So I would watch 104.50, 105. If we go up above there, I would be looking for 108.80 up here, this 161 exponential. Now, if we do start to come back down, we go below 103, I'd watch for that 101 area. If we break that, you can see it does tend to act as a support. If it breaks, boom, it tends to drop. So if it does break that 101 area, I'd look for the 100 and then on down to 99.30. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I am still a huge fan of physical silver, right? I'm going to show you guys why. Besides let me hide my fib. Okay, so let's go to a monthly chart, right? And if we look back in time, similar move, right? We came up, we pulled back, and then once we finally broke out, it happened to be July, 13 years ago. I want to say, I don't remember who it is. I want to say it's GAN that has 13-year cycles. But I could be totally off on that, but somebody has 13-year cycles. So, silver, we call the breakout here, July, up. We'll just go conservatively here, 128%. So, if history repeats itself, if we have this thriving market that everything is done, right? And we break out over here and we go up 128%. We have the potential to see silver go to 57. I think 50 is more like a reasonable zone. And how many months did that take? From June up here, 8 months. So potential to make 100% on physical silver or paper silver. Let's look at gold just as well. So gold, 2011, not the same move, right? Here's July. Where were we? July. It didn't move up as much, 15%. I do like that we have a massive cup and handle setup with a former break, with a official breakout, I should say, at 1800, a depth of 800. This could go to 2600 in my opinion, but it could take a bit of time for that to happen. You can see each one of these is 33 days, so that could take a fair amount. If we saw it break out, we'll say the 19th here, let's go here to here, 9-10 months before we see 2600 on gold, in my opinion, as always. So if there's anything else you all would like to check out, please put it in the chat. I'd love to see you all every morning at 8:15 while I do create my watch list. I create it to help you guys and for everyone to profit. There's so many potential trades in the market, either long or short, and when you're prepared, you are going to profit better. So have an amazing trading day. Carpe profit. Seize those profits one trade at a time.